Hello. I hope you all had amazing Thanksgiving. How are you today? Wow, I can't believe Thanksgiving is over and we're stepping into those of you that celebrate the holidays and celebrate Christmas. And I've been decorating all day today. Absolutely love the holidays. It just like is just my heart and soul. It's just such a beautiful time of year, and I'm just like so grateful to be here with you and take a few minutes break before I go ahead and decorate my tree. Just letting it all fall and just cut it fresh today. My family cut it, and yeah, so here we go. Like, I'm just so grateful. Those of you that are live, drop in the chat where you're coming to me from and where, maybe what you need for, what's bothering you around sleep, because the truth is if you're here and connecting with me today, you probably are having a challenge sleeping. So today I want to talk about like sugar and sleep, because it's just sleep is such an essential like physiological process that is so important in our cognitive, our emotional, and our physical well-being. So the food that we drink and we consume, especially those that are high in sugar, they can truly 100% influence our sleep patterns in so many ways. So let's talk about the ways that sugar can actually affect our sleep. So, when you eat food high in sugar, especially right before bedtime, it can cause like a really quick spike and then a drop in blood sugar levels. And this spike is typically followed by this sharp drop. And it's what we call like the sugar blues or a sugar crash. So, when you have this like rapid decline of blood sugar, now your body can release hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol, right? Like adrenaline and cortisol is to like run away from that saber-toothed tiger. However, sugar can do it too. And so all of a sudden your body becomes alert. It doesn't fall back to sleep. And this can cause also uninterrupted sleep throughout the night. Like you might not be able to sleep as soundly. Does that make sense? Like it's just so important for us to kind of realize that that intake of sugar, that high, that low, and then the lack of sleep can, really like not allow you to get into that deep REM sleep. The other thing that you want to think about is alcohol is a sugar too. And so many patients will tell me like they need it for sleep, but it doesn't let you sleep more soundly and you wake up less rested. And believe it or not, there's research on that as well. So, when we're also looking at tryptophan and serotonin, like we talked about last week, that most of your serotonin is made in the gut, right? So if you eat this sugar-rich meal, the body's going to release insulin to help absorb the excess glucose in the bloodstream. Insulin is going to promote the absorption of some of the amino acids into body tissues, but not tryptophan, which is the precursor to serotonin. This absorption increases tryptophan into the blood. Does that make sense? So I know that's like more of a biochemical sort of mechanism, but I mean, how many times, like even after Thanksgiving dinner, those of you that are on right now, and how many times do people blame like their large, we talked about this the other day, their large meal on like the turkey has tryptophan, so it makes us tired. And really, what happens is so much different types of food, the body has to learn how to absorb it. So, the other piece is that sugar can really, so we have what we call a particular rhythm that the body goes through. It's called a circadian rhythm. And that's our body's natural sleep wake cycle. So, sugar, when it's consumed in large amounts, can actually disrupt these rhythms. And so, what happens is that altered circadian rhythm can actually result in difficulty falling asleep. It doesn't allow you to have sound sleep, so your sleep is a little bit fragmented, or you might wake up too early or not feel rested. So that because we have a normal, like our cortisol should be high when we wake and then it starts to drop down. This is our normal circadian rhythm. Then we have a blip around 2 to 4 p.m. and then cortisol starts to drop off and tells our body it's time to go to sleep. So sugar can disrupt that rhythm. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions and you're on with me, feel free to drop questions in the chat and I'm happy to answer them. So many people now, more so over the last 5 or 10 years, are complaining about, concerned with, and diagnosed with restless leg syndrome. So, what that is like you can't relax your legs when you're trying to go to sleep. So there is some evidence, not 100%. There's other vitamins and ways that can cause restless leg neurological. So remember when I'm talking here, this I'm not diagnosing or treating. I'm just sharing information so that you can think about, wow, this is what sugar could do to me, like when consumed in high amounts. Like this could be a consequence as a result of eating sugar. So even though the exact relationship of restless leg is under investigations, some evidence suggests that that high sugar intake that you may be intaking can exacerbate it, and that can cause that uncontrollable movement in the legs. And so what that will happen is, again, you're going to experience disrupted sleep due to the discomfort and the need to move your legs. Another piece is increased sleep disorders. So, all the sugar that you're intaking, this is why I'm showing up for you guys so that you hear, because you hear, like, or you say to yourself, I shouldn't eat that. I don't need that. I shouldn't have this. And so, really being aware of how much sugar your body can handle so you don't end up with these conditions is so important. And that's why I'm showing up to really support you through the holiday season. So the chronic high sugar intake can increase your risk of developing a sleep disorder. Like maybe it's sleep apnea, maybe it's insomnia. So these elevated blood sugars, like we just talked about, it can even cause you to have to get up at night and urinate, and then that can actually interrupt your sleep. So the sugar doesn't only affect your sleep, but it affects the quantity and the quality, like both. So then your poor sleep can lead to your daytime fatigue. Your brain is not functioning as well as it should, mood disturbances, and quite honestly, so many more health issues. So hopefully this is like making sense for you as kind of think about, like, how much sugar does my body really need? Peaks and valleys is similar to what we just talked about for the circadian rhythm. So high sugar provides that quick energy. It gives you that quick energy boost that you might be getting. Like caffeine can do that too. And then you get this crash as the blood sugar just plummets. So again, consuming the sugary high foods or drinks right close to bedtime will give you that initial feeling of alertness, making it hard to wind down and fall asleep. And then once the sugars wear off, you get a crash, and then that can cause you to wake up in the middle of the night when your blood sugar starts to drop. So, while an occasional sugary treat is unlikely, like maybe you treated yourself at Thanksgiving if it was your holiday yesterday, and that's fine, but it's that continuation of having it 2, 3, 4. I mean, I have patients come to me and they have to have it like all the time. And so, in order to promote the better sleep, you want moderate sugar intake and just be mindful of your consumption, and especially even what you eat before you go to bed. And so, you don't want sugar to, like, you're going to have that high and low as you eat the foods like right before bed. And like I mentioned, same with alcohol. And then you are going to get up in the morning and you're not going to feel like you slept well, and you're not going to feel like your sleep recovery is very good. And then that can also throw off the emotions, which is what I'm talking about on my next live. Like having that sugar high and that sugar low is an emotional roller coaster ride for your body. So because I'm showing up and wanting so much for you to realize. And I'm just doing little blurbs at a time for short periods because there's a lot of information around sugar. And we hear sugar, 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 don't eat sugar. I shouldn't eat sugar. I bloat with sugar. I get inflamed with sugar. I can't put my rings on. Like, this is what you hear me say. And the truth is that little amounts are fine, but having it in mass amounts is going to throw your body off. So I actually am running, like, right now, a Black Friday offer for $97, which is my 7 pillars of health. And people are loving it. So what it does is it's $97, and then you could do a $50 upgrade to get into my Pocket Doc, which Pocket Doc is actually patients pay 247 a month for that, or I should say clients pay 247 a month for that. And that's like messages from me that keep you on track and having me in your back pocket. And then that's also me showing up once a month, like live on Zoom, where there's just a close knit group of individuals where they get to ask questions. So I put the 7 pillars of health together because so many people were looking at, Dr. Donahue, how can I decrease sugar? How can I unlock a sweeter tomorrow and really have health and harmony this holiday season? So over the last few months, I've really put this together, and I'm just so excited about it because it walks you through really transforming your mind so that you can feel healthier and stronger and anti-age, because sugar is aging. It can age your body so rapidly. Like, we're not meant to live on this amount of sugar. So, you know, just being aware of what your intake is. And so what the 7 pillars of wealth does is it looks like, sorry, of wellness. I didn't finish my sentence. Um, it's going to take you through looking at your physical body, looking at your gut health and environmental toxicity, blood sugar, which I'm showing up and talking about, but it's much more detailed here. And then exercise, movement, mind, and sleep. And it's just so important for you to go through this and create in your mind. And I even have journaling prompts in there for you that will encourage you to really think about, like, during each pillar, like, where could I make changes, right? And so when we're talking about habits, you always hear me say, if you have a habit, you want to stack another habit on top of that, right? So it's these stacking of habits that create health. And you might already have a healthy habit. Say, like you have tea in the afternoon just to kind of like relax and breathe during work, and it gets you grounded. So what else could you do? Like, what, maybe you're moving your body every morning and you're doing your yoga or you're doing your exercise. Well, could you do a walk in the evenings, or could you do a walk during your break at work? Like, how could you add and fit something in for yourself that will help you get healthier? And so this is really why I put these pillars together, to walk you through a stepwise fashion. Because, like, I tell all of my patients, it's the treatment plan that you put together for yourself, and that you're aware of, where do I slip up? How do I need support? Who can help me with that support? Instead of you trying to follow somebody else's treatment plan. So I use you strongly because it gets to fit you, because there's no person that has the same genetic makeup. They don't have the same same eye print, fingerprint, body structure, bone structure. And it's how we step into our health every single day that keeps us really, truly on an extreme out of the hospital, out of chronic diagnosis. And sugar is like putting fuel on a fire. So if you look at these 7 pillars, like the 7 chakras in our body, you look at these 7 pillars and you go through each step and you say to yourself, where can I make tweaks to my nutrition so that I can begin to heal my immunity? Or is it like you're using chemicals in your home to clean and you had no idea that they're chemicals, and how could you step into a more natural cleaning supply, right? So it kind of all depends, like, what works for you. And as you go through each pillar, several individuals have purchased it, and I've already got some great feedback on it. It's like just some things that they haven't thought about. Because even personally, I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm constantly making tweaks, constantly. So, what I'm doing with all of you is I'm showing up, I'm picking a subject that's related to sugar. I'm wrapping your so that you can think about, oh, like I didn't think about that, or I wasn't sure where that came from, right? So now you can really like know, like, where can you make those tweaks? And the 7 pillars of wellness help you with those tweaks. And I'm not offering it at this low price. So it's like this is like my launch out to support all of you through the holiday season. And it's about a $4,600 offer, just the 7 pillars of health, because I've put this together based on what I work with my patients at the clinic. Does that make sense? So it's really like I just sat down like 3 months ago and I was like, "Man, there just gets to be something out there that can support you and walk you through each avenue." So, if there's any questions, I know there's several of you online right now. If there's any questions that I can answer, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Or if you, after you watch this live and you think, oh, Dr. Donahue said this about sleep or about my circadian rhythm, and you have questions down the road, go ahead and drop it on this live, and myself or my team will connect with you. But I just, you get to have an amazing holiday season. You don't have to throw the towel in and start eating junk and, all these pieces that are not going to work for you, because, if you're on here, you want to heal even deeper and get to the root cause of what's happening for you. So I'm sending you so much love on the day after Thanksgiving. I hope you all have an amazing holiday, and keep your ears and eyes peeled for the next time that I go live. I don't know exactly when it is, but I have a schedule and my team reminds me. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you have any questions about the 7 pillars of health, or you're interested in purchasing it, I dropped it in the chat. And yeah, I hope this was helpful, because sleep is so important to healing. Like when you sleep at night, your brain detoxes, your body's detox, your muscle detoxes. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Happy holidays. And I can't wait to see you all soon. Be well.